He wasn't born evil, he was created perfect. That's the twist nobody sees coming. The being now known as Satan, the master of darkness and deception, once stood closest to the light. He wasn't a monster, he was a masterpiece. In the realm of heaven, surrounded by angels, he was called Lucifer, a name that means light bringer. According to Christian tradition, especially in early interpretations of the book of Isaiah and Ezekiel, Lucifer was the most radiant angel ever created by God. His beauty wasn't just skin deep, he was wise, intelligent, and powerful. Many believe he was an archangel, possibly even the chief of worship in heaven. His voice was said to be like music itself. Some say he was music, crafted with instruments built into his very being. But here's where everything went wrong. He saw himself. The Bible hints at it like this: "Your heart became proud on account of your beauty, and you corrupted your wisdom because of your splendor." He looked in the mirror, metaphorically or spiritually, and saw a god. He no longer wanted to serve. He wanted to rule. This is the moment pride was born, and with it, rebellion. Scripture and apocryphal texts suggest that Lucifer rallied a third of the heavenly host. Yes, angels, creatures of light, but they followed him, seduced by the idea of power, of freedom from divine command. And so began the first war, not on earth, but in the heavens. The book of Revelation describes a great battle. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back, but they were not strong enough. Lucifer was cast out, not alone, but with those who followed him. From the highest realm he fell, and with that fall he was no longer Lucifer. He became Satan, the accuser, the adversary, the enemy. Now here's where different religions begin to shape the story further. In Islam, this being isn't called Lucifer, but Iblis. He wasn't an angel but a jinn made of smokeless fire. Angels in Islam do not disobey, but jinn, like humans, have free will. Iblis was incredibly devout. He worshipped God with such passion that he was elevated to be among the ranks of angels, until God created Adam. When the order was given to bow to Adam, Iblis refused. Not because of laziness, but because of arrogance. He said, "I am better than him. You created me from fire and him from clay." That one line echoed the very essence of ego and racism, pride and rebellion. God cast him out, but Iblis wasn't done. He asked God for time. "Give me respite until the day of judgment, and I will mislead them all." And in one of the chilling verses in the Quran, God grants it. Why? Because this life is a test, and Satan's whispers are part of that test. From that moment on, Satan became a strategist, no longer in heaven, but never absent from the world. He walks through stories across religions in whispers, shadows, in promises that seem sweet, but rot the soul. In Judaism, especially in books like Job, Satan appears not as a monster, but as a prosecutor. He walks into the presence of God, not to destroy humanity, but to test it. He questions Job's righteousness. He seeks to prove that faith can break. It's cold, clinical, strategic. This is what makes Satan so terrifying. He's not chaos, he's not random, he's calculated. In other traditions, Satan is woven into mystery. In ancient Gnostic texts, he sometimes appears as a misunderstood rebel, fighting against a false god. In occult beliefs, he's a symbol of liberation and forbidden knowledge. In modern Satanism, especially the atheistic kind, he isn't even seen as a literal being, but as a metaphor for rebellion, self-empowerment, and questioning authority. But make no mistake, in the Abrahamic faiths, he is very real. He is the voice that whispered to Eve in the Garden of Eden, the one who tempted Jesus in the wilderness, the one who plants seeds of doubt, hatred, greed, and division. He doesn't hold a pitchfork. He holds lies dressed in beauty. And though he was cast down, his kingdom grew. Some scriptures and traditions say he established a throne, not underground, but over the waters. The sea, in ancient belief, represented chaos, the unknown, the deep abyss. From there, he sends out his agents, demons, spirits, whispers. Now let's talk about something rarely mentioned, Satan's children. In Islamic lore, it's believed that Iblis has offspring. They are called shayateen, devils. Each one specializes in a particular sin. One breaks up marriages, one whispers during prayer, another fuels rage. They work like a network, a spiritual corruption system. In Christian and Jewish folklore, the idea of demonic offspring exists too, though less explicitly. Some texts speak of Lilith, a dark figure said to have mated with fallen angels, producing creatures of the night. These legends aren't in mainstream scripture, but still echo through history, art, and literature. So what is Satan now? He's a strategist, a storyteller, a whisperer. He doesn't come to you with horror. He comes to you with offers, just like he did with Jesus. Bow to me, and I will give you the kingdoms of the world. He knows our hunger, our fears, our vanity. But he also knows his time is limited. In Revelation, he knows the clock is ticking. It says, "Woe to the earth, for the devil has come down to you in great wrath," because he knows his time is short. He's not invincible, he's desperate. So the question is no longer who is Satan? It's how do you resist the being who knows exactly what you desire and how to twist it against you? You see, Satan doesn't need to show his face to rule the world. He operates in something far more dangerous than visible fear, subtle influence. From the rise and fall of empires to the personal destruction of individual souls, he operates like a master chess player. He doesn't push, he whispers. And the most frightening thing? He uses truth, twisted just enough to turn salvation into destruction. In history, his fingerprints are hidden in prideful kings and cruel empires. Every ruler who exalted himself as a god, every nation that turned genocide into glory, every culture that sacrificed the innocent in the name of power, all reflect echoes of the first rebellion, the same spirit that said, "I will rise above the Most High." Many theologians believe Satan doesn't need to possess a person to use them, just influence them. The idea isn't to scare you with horror, but to show how evil wraps itself in logic, desire, and ambition. Take the temptation of Jesus. In the Gospel of Matthew, Satan appears not with claws or flames, but with offers: food for a starving man, power for a coming king, worship for the price of one bow. Think about it. Satan didn't offer filth. He offered everything a man could want. That's how he works. He doesn't attack your weakness. He targets your strength and twists it. For the intelligent, he stirs pride in their knowledge. For the kind, he exploits their mercy to justify evil. For the brave, he tempts them to play God. Satan knows your purpose, and his ultimate strategy to derail it. In modern society, Satan doesn't wear red. He wears influence. Some call it entertainment, others freedom. But his voice hasn't changed. He still asks the world, just like he asked Eve, "Did God really say?" He questions truth until it becomes blurry. He turns identity into confusion. He turns worship into pride. And slowly, inch by inch, he drags people away, not with force, but with consent. In the Bible, Satan is called the prince of the power of the air. Many believe that phrase now applies to mass communication, the way media spreads messages instantly across the globe. Movies, music, social media, tools that can be holy or hellish, depending on who's holding the pen. Even Paul the Apostle warned that Satan can disguise himself as an angel of light. Let that sink in. He doesn't always appear ugly. Sometimes he appears beautiful, irresistible, right? That's the trap. He doesn't need to show you hell. He shows you your dream without telling you the price. In Islam, Satan's mission is clear. He swore to God, "I will come to them from in front of them, behind them, from their right and left, and you will find most of them ungrateful." He doesn't rest. He walks through hearts. He whispers during your prayer. He fuels your ego after your charity. He hides behind the words, "I deserve more. Why me? No one's watching." And in all that, he slowly achieves what he really wants, to disconnect humans from God. Because here's the truth. Satan doesn't want to rule hell. He wants you to go there. He lost paradise, and he cannot stand to see you enter it. And what about his death? Many people wonder, will Satan die? In most beliefs, he doesn't just vanish. His end, brutal. In the book of Revelation, his fate is clear. He is thrown into the lake of fire, not just as a punishment, but as a final, eternal judgment. He will no longer roam. No more whispers, no more temptation, silence. But not yet. Until then, he plays his final game. And it's bigger than you think. He's not afraid of religion, he's afraid of transformation. Satan loves empty ritual. He doesn't care if you go to church, mosque, or temple, as long as your heart is far from God. He doesn't mind if you pray, as long as you still hate your neighbor. He doesn't mind if you fast, if you're still full of pride, because he's not fighting your actions, he's fighting your soul. But here's what you must remember. Satan's story is not the final story. Yes, he was once a glorious angel. Yes, he became the master of deception. Yes, he roams, tempts, manipulates, and whispers. In Islam, Satan, or Iblis, is already a loser. He refused to bow out of arrogance, and from that moment his fate was sealed. Allah promises, "Indeed, my servants, no authority will you have over them." Meaning, you may be attacked, but you are never helpless. In every religion, the war between good and evil continues. But in every truth, Satan falls in the end. So what's the lesson? He may be real, he may be ancient, he may be clever, but he is also defeated. Your soul is not a battlefield for him to claim. It is a crown you choose to protect. Because while Satan was thrown out of heaven, you were created for it. So guard your heart, know your enemy, but never forget, your creator is greater than your enemy's lies. And that, my friend, is the true biography of Satan, from heaven's angel to hell's mastermind, to nothing more than a footnote in the story of God's eternal victory.